All right, boom, we're live.
Cool.
Live
My nose itches.
in it. I didn't put the things that we talked about that I was going to put on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I need to sit there back and relax.
to get.
You're not in the microphone. You're not even talking in the microphone.
Okay, so what is this? My mic? This doesn't allow me to look in the camera. It's not. It's too far.
Can you tilt the mic? You can move the position of the microphone
Does
over
that
there.
work?
You can slide it on the end of the table
Does
there.
this work right here?
Where's the back of the microphone? Remember it says back and front?
No, I don't. This is back.
Then you got to speak into that front of it.
Okay, so does that sound better? You're the one with the headphones.
You're not coming through my headphones.
Can you hear
Remember?
it differently?
No, I can't hear you in that one. I'm just hoping it's good.
Oh, okay.
So
you can't hear me. Okay, let's just this will be good enough.
But you got to talk it because if I'm talking in here, you have to talk into the microphone for good audio.
Okay, so I am.
I don't know if you are.
All right, don't bother me. You're already bugging me, dude.
Here we go.
You're already bothering me.
What did I do?
It's fine. Let's go. My nose is really itchy all of a sudden. Pull up my chair a little more comfortable. There. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's start the topics. Welcome.
Oh, I'm welcome. This is another attempt, second time sitting down in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, 1 week.
Second time in 2 weeks.
Second time in 1 week.
Bringing just different topics. And today you got Ava, I see some notes. We're going to be a little bit more organized. And let's go.
You should have worn the hat. Anyways, you look like you're tired.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, are we gonna be able to do this?
Probably not.
You're just not having it?
I mean, I thought we're going with it.
Okay, we wanted to talk about turkeys, all right? Thanksgiving's coming up, and people are going to have turkey coming up on their dinner table. And I haven't even been to the store to even see it, but I know, like, there's going to be tons of frozen turkeys, all different types of brands. Oh, Pebbles just makes her way through our... All right, we're talking about turkeys, and if you're just like every traditional American family, you're going to be having turkey coming up in the next couple weeks, week and a half, whenever. Oh, what's the date? So, which really just caused me to want to do a deeper dive and look into what are the turkeys' lives really about? What is going on in the turkey industry? And what people really may not know.
Okay, that's where we're going into.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring some. I think that it's just good to bring some awareness, is because I never thought about like where our food came from or really who that animal was or is or any of these things, right? I just saw it as a family tradition, eat turkey on Thanksgiving, and I never really even thought to even look on the other side of what the turkey life could be about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to like the celebration of like, what are we giving thanks for? And if you give thanks for, life, freedom, that's exactly what you're not doing, or at least the turkeys aren't, they're not very free, or they're not very, they're not living through this. I think it's backwards. I think it's really backwards when you think about like why everybody sacrifice, like what are we eating turkey for? So, there's tons of other different ways to go about it. And, I think that's what we're here to show, over time, and really, if you think about why we're doing the things that we're doing.
I mean, I'm not even really sure why we eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I haven't really done the research, but I know that everyone's walking around with the cute little turkey hats and the shirts that say gobble gobble, and everything is centered around turkeys. I remember even making the cute hand for, my school project of the cute little hand turkey. And I just, ever since I've ever grown up, I've always associated turkey with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, for what? That's just tradition.
Yeah, and it almost feels like I remember when initially making this, starting to go more in the direction of plants. I was really, I don't know if afraid was the correct word to use, but I was like, what is Thanksgiving going to be like without turkey? And then I almost felt bad for almost like thinking, I almost felt guilty and bad for not giving our kids a traditional Thanksgiving turkey dinner, which is crazy. So, but what I really just want to do too is bring some more just awareness of what's going on in these turkey, like not anything in too depth, because all the information is out there. But some of the things that really were eye-opening to me is that over, I believe, what's the number? 46 million turkeys that are consumed in the U.S. They come from factory industry. And so many times people out there say, well, my turkey it's cage free, or it has better ethics behind the turkey, or whatever. And I am talking and speaking on the majority of where everybody pretty much predominantly is getting their turkeys.
Yeah, I mean, chances are you're getting it from these factory farms, and it's not at all, like, if you think about what's going on and why we're eating it, I mean, it really doesn't make sense. There's so many different options to do. I think you'll feel better about it too. I mean, like, to know that you're not harming anything, or you're actually giving thanks for and life. Like, I think if you are thankful for like life and like freedom, I think if you eat turkey, you're not. That's like, it's like two completely opposite different things, two completely opposite different mindsets. And I think, I'd challenge anybody to think about that. I mean, if you're consuming or eating turkey and you're also thankful for life and freedom, I just that doesn't go hand in hand to me. So that's a tough one. And if you think about it, I think you'll question a little bit more on what we're doing.
Yeah, and pretty much everything that I've read is turkeys are extremely intelligent, affectionate animals, and they really are loyal to their owner, and they love to be pet. And so I didn't know this, but a typical turkey lives about 10 years in the wild, and in these factory farms where they're being mass produced and being fed antibiotics and really forced to grow at extreme rapid rates, they're only living to be about 9 months old, which is crazy on the short amount of time span that these animals have. But most importantly, it's a really it's a really cruel process of how they live. And just a couple things is like their beaks are chopped off, their top beaks are chopped off so that they don't fight with other turkeys and kill each other. And so in that process, a natural turkey feeds by pecking and eating different things that they choose out of the earth, and they no longer can do this, and they're forced to eat the corn grain fed with antibiotics in it. And so that's one thing just in itself that is extremely cruel. And they get so big that their natural joints and body cannot support, and their bone structure can't support their body. So a lot of times that their legs will break, and they're just not very mobile, and they live in these dark, crowded, confined spaces until they're eventually taken to the slaughterhouse. And that process is not anything I'm going to go into, but if you thought any of that stuff that I just said sounded terrible, the slaughtering process is horrific.
Yeah, it's just something that they have done just an amazing job of keeping all of that from people. People don't want to look at it. People don't want to think about it, and they really keep it. Somehow. I mean, they kind of numb us to it. And these factories, they're hidden away. Like, you don't really know where they are. They don't make a whole lot of noise. Obviously, no one advertised. And it's not. There's so many that go through. You're right. So about 45 million will be consumed on Thanksgiving. I think 6 billion pounds of turkey throughout the country a year. Just the numbers are just terrible. Back to they can't support their legs. A lot of the big problem is the GMOs. They're kind of injecting these turkeys to be as plump and big as possible to make the most amount of money. And it's just a factory. These turkeys are bred for food and to feed us. And as long as we consume it, they're going to continue to mass produce these animals. And it's terrible. And when you stop and take a look at it, you can really question it. And do you have to contribute to it? The answer is no.
Exactly. I actually, and one thing you mentioned was that, like, it's crazy when you think that an animal is only being produced to be eaten. Like, I just find, or this whole just mass producing, and their only sole purpose is to be slaughtered and to be eaten. And I just find that crazy in itself. But as Pete said, there's a lot of different options out there for Thanksgiving. And I'm excited because this is really going to be our very first 100% no animals, no dairy, no turkey, no egg Thanksgiving. And I know that we're going to love our meal, but most importantly, I'm excited to show you guys that how amazing our spread's going to look, and that it feels really good knowing that it really supports our values, especially at a time where you should be giving thanks.
Yeah, I mean, giving thanks for life. I mean, if you're giving thanks for life, you want everybody, just eat plants and vegetables and be like to eat dead birds and things on Thanksgiving. And if you're giving thanks for life and you're happy in celebration with family, I just don't see the balance and the and how it contributes. So I mean, if you try to tie those two together, I think you're going to catch yourself in a predicament.
So just like your tables, we're going to have green bean casseroles, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, biscuits, gravy. I'm going to make stuffing, and I'm going to throw some extra different dishes in there as well, which I'm really pumped about.
I'm excited.
And this year I decided that I'm going to head to Trader Joe's and buy one of their tofu turkeys. And I've
heard good things about those things, right?
I've heard a lot of great things about them. And that's not the only, there's different things. You can make a Wilmington. I thought about doing that. So if for some reason that's sold out, then I have a game plan. But there's so many. I was thinking the Wilmington more for Christmas, but there's so many different things that are out there that you will honestly not even miss the turkey. And I know that even when I did eat turkey, I always felt like I had a couple pieces, and that it was really the other dishes that I enjoyed way more than the turkey.
Yeah, and for those of you that are looking to replace, if this makes sense, follow along. We're going to give all the recipes, all the ingredients of our exact Thanksgiving meals, desserts, snacks. I know throughout the day you're going to do a lot of snacks and a lot of kid options as well. And so now's the time. I mean, it's a perfect time to kind of start this journey, right? Even before the new year, it's a good time. A lot of people jump on the bandwagon. And I think what's going to hit people with this one is the thanks. Like, if you're giving thanks for life and like life, like if you're thankful for life and you want, if you just think about the word and then you go ahead and think about all of the things that are happening to the turkey and for what reason, and when we don't have to, nothing or no thing or animal needs to die in order for us to live. And for us to do that on a day and think it's necessary or tradition, I think we're twisted and we're kind of numbing ourselves to what's actually happening. And then once you think about it and tie it together, this is easy. This becomes pretty easy, pretty simple, especially with with replacing, the typical options, the typical turkey, the typical stuffing, the typical gravies, all the things that are meat based. You can, replace that with plant based options and just have a more fascinating, delicious, and a lively, no pun intended, meal.
So I was recently asked this question, and I think it's really helpful. How do I navigate during this holiday season and going to people's houses, having family over, going to all these social gatherings, and being plant-based? Oh my goodness, there's so many different things. Number one, when you're going and you're maybe new in this journey, is that I'm just clear and honest and direct with people, especially when we started to go. We were invited to other people's houses and they had turkey. We just clearly stated that we don't eat meat. I mean, just very honest. Hey, listen, because I don't want people to feel like I'm being disrespectful to their meal. At the same time, it's just, it's just a mutual understanding. And I'm not mad if I go to a social gathering and there's not any plant-based options. Just keep them, but it doesn't mean that if there's no plant-based options, just note that doesn't mean that I need to eat something that I don't want to eat. I'm not forced into anything. And to be honest, there's always at least one thing that you can eat there. And you should be bringing your own dishes that you can share with others to introduce them to different way of eating, a different style of cooking, and most importantly, showing them that it's amazing and tastes great and that it's not as crazy as it seems, and that they're going to want the recipe of whatever you bring. So it's just a fun time. And if you really just go back to the basics of what Thanksgiving is really about, it's about being grateful and getting together with families, your family, your loved ones, your friends, and sharing a time of just being thankful.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually pumped when people provide people bring meat dishes and or say things. I mean, you got to be pumped to say no. And I think this becomes once you're kind of you're pretty set, or you're down the right path, it becomes more easy to say no. I think once you become proud of what you're doing and why you're doing it, you really set your foot in your values. You really set yourself, understanding on why you're doing it, and you'd be proud. And I think you're going to find yourself, as the minority of this journey. And I find that fascinating in the sense of, because we're on the start or the brink of something that, you see all these movies, all these documentaries come out, whether they're, a lot of people are going to come out and say that they're, bad, or they're misrepresenting data, or they're, they sell plant-based companies, or, they have all these alternative motives. At the end of the day, they're bringing awareness. And so, we just say, hey, continue to do your research, continue to learn. Not everything you're going to come across is going to be 100% accurate, but it does make you question. It does make you start to think. It does make you, on the path of the journey of this plant-based thing, which in the end, if it's a blend of health and, kindness and living and life and like just feeling good, there's no better way.
Okay,
New topic. Let's end this because let's make sure our audio's good. See you at 20 minutes.